Hey everyone, Zach Mason here. Welcome back to the channel. If you're not familiar with this channel, I do a lot of Bible teaching, but I specifically focus on biblical prophecy, and we also do a lot of current event discussions, as well as evaluations of what God may be speaking to us today through dreams, visions, and even reliable prophetic words. I know that may sound like an oxymoron, but it's not. There are true prophets today, and we work to identify who those voices are that can be trusted using biblical criteria. We've learned a lot, and for those of you who are familiar, welcome back. What I'm going to do, the next two videos are probably going to be shorter ones. I just had some timing things that were on the front of my mind, and I thought I'd record a couple of short videos to get these out. I've got a bigger one I'm going to be working on soon. I hope to get it out sometime next week, called The Prophecy of the Kings. And I'm going to be walking through all of the different prophetic words regarding to what I believe applies to this upcoming presidential election, I should say. There's a lot so far, all of those words that I've known about for a couple of years have been coming true. And so I believe we can rely on the rest of them to come true as well. So I'm going to try to prepare that. But that's a little bit of a bigger task ahead of me. I'm headed out of town. I'll be traveling from July 10th roughly through the 25th of July, so a couple of weeks. That means I definitely won't be able to do the live videos during that time where I've been doing the daily live teaching. And I'll also be limited in the other kinds of videos I can post, if at all. So you may see a complete break of activity from me here for a couple weeks, but then we get back to end of July, beginning of August, and you'll see me again. Nevertheless, I may have some things I can post and upload in the meantime, so stay tuned. One last thing on current events. I know there's a lot of people, a lot of news speculating about how Biden's going to drop out. How can he go forward after the last debate? And I just tell you, he is not going to drop out. I've already done a video on this, and there are no dreams. I'd be very surprised if he drops out. If he drops out, I'll have to say, I guess I have to go back and rethink a lot of things. There are no dreams that I've seen ever in the past 4 years about him dropping out. I have seen about 12 dreams and visions out there where he has a heart attack while in office. So that is what I'm expecting, not him stepping down. And I do also have reason to believe that that would happen after the election, not before. So I am not expecting, and I'm going to also clarify my terminology here. I realize that for this channel, I need to have some precise terminology that you can get used to me using. When I say something is absolutely going to happen, it means that it's absolutely going to happen. That I have absolute confidence in this, that there's no doubt, that there's so much information, data out there that God has been communicating to people that it means this is going to happen. If I say this is my expectation, it means that I have a lot of data, some significant data, enough where I'm at like an 85 to 95% chance sure that something is going to happen. That's what that means when I say my current expectations are, but I'm leaving room to be wrong in that case. I'm not making you an absolute guarantee. I'm making you a very probable guarantee, but I'm leaving room for error because I either don't have enough data or there's some point of confusion I'm still trying to work through. So when I say this is absolutely going to happen, it means there's no doubt in my mind. This is definitely happening. If I tell you this is my current expectations, I very strongly believe this is what's going to happen, but there's still a little bit room for error. I could have made some mistakes, or I might not have enough info. So I hope that's clear. If I'm saying I think this is going to happen, I believe this is going to happen, like that, and I'm probably about 50 to 85% sure, somewhere in that range. If I say I'm not sure, it means I'm less than 50%. Okay, so that's how I speak. That's what I mean when I say those things. And so my current expectations are that Biden will not drop off the ticket, that he will remain on the ticket, and that he is going to pass away soon after the election, which Trump will win. That's my current expectations. So any news articles to the different, saying different, just don't believe them. Very unlikely that he's going to be replaced. And if you want to understand why, politically speaking, you should understand the players involved. You have Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, and Jill Biden. Okay. And these four are not necessarily on the same agendas. Jill Biden's agenda and Obama's agenda line up currently. And they are the two that are closest to Joe Biden. And Jill Biden really doesn't have much power in the Democratic Party, but she does have a lot of power over Joe Biden and what he does and says personally. Barack Obama is Joe Biden's closest political ally, and he does control the Democrat Party. Barack Obama wants Joe in office as a puppet because Barack Obama then is controlling the White House. He does not want to let Kamala Harris run it because then Obama loses control. So he's not going to allow that as much as possible. He would even, if Joe was completely unable to move forward, Barack Obama will bring in a double, and he'll use AI and other things to create fake videos to make you think Joe is still there as much as possible. That's how so anything you see about Obama going to the White House to talk sense into Biden, it's going to be painted as he's doing this to talk some sense into Biden like he needs to drop out. That's not what's happening. It means he's going there to reassure everybody in the White House, don't worry, we've got this under control. Joe's not dropping out. It's the opposite of what they're reporting. Okay, Obama does not want him out. And Jill doesn't either, because she wants to be first lady more than she cares about whether her husband is humiliated or not. I don't think she has a lot of love for him. If she did, she wouldn't be subjecting him to this. That's my personal opinion. Hillary Clinton wants back in the game, doesn't have an avenue currently, but isn't going to give somebody power because she's so selfish. She's not going to give somebody power or give her the support of her machine in the Democrat Party to someone that isn't going to benefit her. Kamala Harris wants to be president. She thinks she should have that right because she's VP. But neither Hillary Clinton's machine nor Obama's machine is going to let her. So Kamala Harris has to make a deal with Clinton, with Hillary, to be able to get Joe out. Right? So what you're seeing right now is all of these clips being released, humiliating Joe, and these stories about him and how he's going to drop out. All of those stories are being leaked by Kamala Harris. And if you want to see the dream that revealed this to us first, go back and watch Dana Coverstone's November dream, his dream called the November dream. All right, that said, what this video is actually about, supposed to be short, is about my current expectations. Again, I noticed my vocabulary, my expectations about the Israel-Iran war. The news is showing this is going to go hot on the northern border with Hezbollah, which essentially means Iran, any day. It keeps getting hotter and hotter and hotter. This is building, especially since when it's revealed how feeble our president is. This empowers Iran, but makes Israel a little more feeble because they're not sure they can trust us as a partner, so it makes them back off a little. So there's a little delay here, but I think that it's going to catch back on fire again, probably this fall sometime, maybe even this summer. And I'm recalling that there's a news headline in Coverstone's January dream where he saw a New York Times headline that said, "Sympathy for the swastika." Back in 2020, that made no sense. In this context now, where we're seeing the anti-Semitic protests on college campuses against Israel's war, it makes more sense now that we could see that headline, especially if Israel does something that everyone in the world perceives as unjust. Nevertheless, with regards to timing, there's 3 blood moons occurring on 3 Jewish holidays in a row, all 3 of them being Purim. Read the book of Esther if you want to know what the Jewish holiday Purim is about, but it's about the Persian government trying to exterminate the Jews. The Iranian government, Persia became Iran. It was an official, an Amalekite, an Agagite, descendant of King Agag, Haman, who is representative of Muhammad and the future Muslims, in Iran trying to exterminate the Jewish people. And God miraculously delivered the Jewish people from this assault. So Purim is the Jewish holiday that remembers that problem between Iran and Israel, that war between Iran and Israel, or the Persian attackers in Israel. It wasn't all of Persia that wanted the Jews dead, just some. And that's the same today. Most Persians don't have a problem with the Jewish people. It's only about 20%, the radicals do. Nevertheless, we had a blood moon on March 25th of this year on Purim, 2024. There's another blood moon on the next Purim in 2025. There's another blood moon on the third Purim in 2026. 3 Purims in a row, blood moons. That's significant. Amidst all the other signs we're seeing, that is significant. I don't know I don't remember when that's happened before. It's a very unusual event, in my opinion. And Purim representing war between Iran and Israel over 3 years. The blood moon, the moon is a symbol for God's people. The sun is a symbol for Jesus Christ. His light, his truth, his warmth, his love is coming into the world during the day. When he's not present with us at night, the moon, God's people, is reflecting his light, his truth into the world at night. Weekly, though, compared to how he does it when he's present. So the moon represents God's people. Blood is blood. So it represents God's people bloodied. And so you have God's people bloodied on Purim 2024, God's people bloodied on 2025, and God's people bloodied on Purim of 2026. So based on that, based on those signs, I am anticipating that the war between Iran and Israel is going to last from 2024 to 2026. That it's begun in earnest, that it's building. We have these little, interactions and bombings here and there. It's getting hotter and hotter. I think it's going to get very hot. And then and if you read the book of Esther, I've already taught on this channel. I believe the first year of this war with Iran is going to be the most costly life, in terms of loss of life on both sides. And the second year will be less so, but that there will be final resolution at the end of sometime in 2026, probably right after that blood moon or right before it. Probably right before it, knowing God's timing, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, I believe these blood moons are signaling to us the beginning and end of this war with Iran and what's going to happen. And that lines up with some other things I'm expecting as far as the peace treaty that gives away Jerusalem, that really starts the tribulation in earnest, and other things. So that said, that's all I have to say for this video. I'm based on the blood moon timings on Purim. I believe it's telling us this war is going to be over these 3 years, 2 years, and that 2026 will be the end of that. From UB Ready's words, we know that that at the end of this war with Iran that's coming, that Israel's territory will be expanded, not reduced. And thus the world will hate Israel even more, which is to their detriment. We need to bless Israel, because God says when we do that, we're blessing his children, his people that he loves. And yes, they have sinned just like everybody else, but they're his children and he loves them. And so we should do kindness to them and bless them in order to, bless him. Anyways, that said, that's all. That's all for this video, and we will see you guys soon.